Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Thursday, April 19th, 2018. This is going to be a long podcast today, so stay tuned, folks. Today, NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, Major League Baseball, 2015 MLB ReDraft, NFL mock draft. That's my 9th mock draft I'm going to do. Go over a couple other news, some sad news in the NBA, as well as manager fired in Major League Baseball. And last but not least, I'll do my predictions for the NFL schedule, which will be released tonight. All right. Basketball last night, the Cavs defeated the Pacers 100-97. They even up the series at 1 apiece. LeBron James was by far and away the best player on the court. 46 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists in the win. Victor Oladipo, 22 points and 6 assists in defeat. It's a 1-1 series now. The Pacers have home court advantage now. It's a best of 5. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. The Jazz defeated the Thunder 102-95 to steal Game 2 on the road. That's a 1-1 series now. Donovan Mitchell with the bruised foot put up 28 points in the win. Russell Westbrook put up 19 points and 13 assists in defeat as the Jazz take away home court advantage from the Thunder. A big win for the Houston Rockets, 102-82 over the Minnesota Timberwolves to take a 2-0 series lead. James Harden struggled, but Chris Paul was good. 27 points and 8 assists in the win. And Nemanja Bjelica put up 16 in defeat as Karl Anthony Towns struggled for a second straight game. Tonight you have 3 games. 7 o'clock on TNT, you have the Sixers at the Heat. Joel Embiid, doubtful. So, give me Miami on their home court to take a 2-1 series lead, led by the rejuvenated Dwayne Wade. Let's see if he keeps that up. I think he is rejuvenated with the playoffs rolling and him back with his former team. And I believe Goran Dragic and Hassan Whiteside will be factors too. You have the Pelicans hosting the Trailblazers. That's the NBA TV game tonight. Pelicans are up 2-0, make it 3-0. Anthony Davis has been by far the best player in the series. Drew Holiday's been the second best player in the series. The backcourt of Portland has not shown up yet, really. So, give me the Pelicans to go up 3-0 to put the Blazers on the ropes. And last but not least, the nightcap of the TNT doubleheader, you have the Warriors at the Spurs. A very sad story with the Spurs. Greg Popovich lost his wife, Erin, at the age of 67 due to some health illnesses. It's really, really a sad situation. Greg Popovich, of course, won't coach tonight, and Ettore Messina will coach. I think the Spurs are going to show up and play hard, and they'll win this game tonight. Give me the Spurs to take Game 3, and they'll win this for Aaron Popovich as Greg Popovich stays home and deals with this very tragic situation. If you guys didn't see it, LeBron James, after the Cavs win yesterday, was interviewed by the TNT reporter and was asked about it. LeBron didn't know about it, and he reacted on the air and was choked up a little bit. And I feel really, really bad. LeBron's close with Greg Popovich, and condolences go out to the Popovich family, as we'll see if Popovich comes back to coach in the playoffs for Game 4 on Sunday. Stanley Cup playoffs, some interesting results from last night. A series ended, and a couple of them are now 3-1 series. The Penguins defeated the Flyers 5-0 to go up 3-1 in the series. It was all Penguins in this game. First period, Evgeny Malkin's third of the playoffs on the power play, assisted by Sidney Crosby and Phil Kessel, put the Penguins up 1-0. Phil Kessel's first of the playoffs, assisted by Evgeny Malkin, 2-0 Penguins. Second period, Chris Letang's first of the playoffs, assisted by Jake Gudsnetzel, 3-0 Pens. Sidney Crosby's fifth of the playoffs, assisted by Jake Gudsnetzel and Dominic Simon, put the Pens up 4-0. Third period, Riley Sheehan's first of the playoffs, assisted by Ali Mata and Zach Aston Reese, put the Pens up 5-0 for good. This was all Penguins. And Matt Murray, 26 saves on 26 shots. Brian Elliott wasn't good. 14 saves on 17 shots. And then Michael Nervith came in relief. 11 saves on 13 shots. The Pens have this series in control. The Flyers are on life support. Another team on life support is the New Jersey Devils as they fall to the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1 as Tampa Bay takes the 3-1 series lead. Impressive win for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kyle Palmieri got the Devils on the board first on a power play goal assisted by Will Butcher and Taylor Hall to put the Devils up 1-0. JT Miller's first of the playoffs assisted by Nikita Kucherov and Steven Stamkos ties it up at 1 apiece. Nikita Kucherov's third of the playoffs assisted by Braden Coburn and JT Miller put the Lightning up 2-1. No scoring in the second period. The third period, Kucherov's fourth of the playoffs assisted by JT Miller into the empty net. 3-1, Tampa Bay's your winner. Tampa Bay has full control of this series now as they look to close it out on Saturday afternoon. Andrei Vasilevsky was the best player on the ice, 27 saves on 28 shots. Corey Schneider was tremendous too, 34 saves on 36 shots. The Predators defeated the Avalanche 3-2 to take a 3-1 series lead. The Predators were in control of this game and the Avs made it somewhat interesting. First period, Philip Forsberg on an amazing goal, assisted by Ryan Johansson and Matthias Ekholm, 1-0 Preds. Second period, Colton Sissons, third of the playoffs, assisted by Philip Forsberg and Matthias Ekholm, 2-0 Preds. Craig Smith, second of the playoffs, assisted by Austin Watson, 3-0 Preds. Craig Smith, second of the playoffs, assisted by Austin Watson, makes it 3-0 Preds. Third period is when Colorado made this interesting. Gabriel Landeskog's third of the playoffs on the power play, assisted by Tyson Yost and Tyson Barrie, got the Avs on the board to make it a 3-1 game. And then Alexander Kerfoot, second of the playoffs, assisted by Matt Nieto and Nikita Zadorov, makes it a 3-2 game. Nashville held on for their lives, and now they have full control of this series. Pekka Rinne, 31 saves on 33 shots. Jonathan Bernier, 23 saves on 26 shots, and then he was pulled. And Andrew Hammond came in relief, 8 saves on 8 shots. And the Preds are up 3-1. The Sharks defeated the Ducks 2-1 to advance to the second round as they'll face the Golden Knights of Vegas. First period, Marcus Sorensen's third of the playoffs, assisted by Brent Burns and Melker Karlsson, put the Sharks up 1-0. Then in the third period, a goal by Ricard Raquel was waved off due to offsides. Then the Ducks ended up tying the game anyway on a goal by Andrew Cogliano, assisted by Ryan Kessler and Jacob Silfverberg to tie it up at 1 apiece. Then the game-winning goal, Thomas Hertl's third of the playoffs, assisted by Mark-Edward Vlasic. 2-1 Sharks was your final. Yes, this was a sweep, and the Sharks outscored the Ducks 16-4, but let's face it, that was not that far off because 3 of those games were one-goal games, and then there was the blowout in Game 3 where the Ducks looked like they quit in that game. But it was a closer series than what the numbers said. Martin Jones outstanding, 31 saves. Martin Jones was outstanding, 30 saves on 31 shots. John Gibson, 22 saves on 24 shots. I'm interested to see what Anaheim does this summer. Corey Perry did not have a good year. Is that a fluke or is that a sign of things to come? Is Randy Carlyle back as coach? We'll see. So there's some questions in Anaheim as the offseason approaches. 2 games tonight, 7 o'clock on NBCSN. You have the Bruins against the Maple Leafs from Toronto in Game 4. I think the Maple Leafs tie this up at 2 apiece. Austin Matthews will have another big game, and I won't be surprised if this game is close, like in the series they have not been. I won't be surprised if this game is close, unlike the other games in this series. So give me 4-3 Maple Leafs in regulation. Capitals Blue Jackets on USA tonight. I'm going to take the Blue Jackets to go up 3-1. I don't feel all that great about it, but I'm going to do it. They're home, and I like their chances tonight. They could have won Game 3. I think they win Game 4. Let's say what it's been most in this series, 3-2 overtime. And let's go with Pierre-Luc Dubois for the game winner. Dubois has been one of the more improved players in the league of late, and he isn't going to be a finalist for the Calder Award, but he's going to be a great player in this league for years to come. So let's go Dubois with the game winner and Columbus will take a 3-1 series lead. Baseball yesterday. Couple interesting results. You had the Pirates absolutely destroying the Rockies 10-2 as they improved to 12-6. Colorado drops to 11-9. Chad Cole with the win. Kyle Freeland with the loss. Top of the third, home run Chris Iannetta, 1-0 Rockies. Bottom of the fourth, 2-run home run Sean Rodriguez, 2-1 Rockies. Followed up by an RBI double by Max Moroff, 3-1 Pirates. Bottom of the sixth, RBI single Josh Bell, 4-1 Pirates. RBI double David Freese that scored in 2, 6-1 Pirates. RBI single Adam Frazier, 7-1 Pirates. Top of the eighth, RBI ground out Ian Desmond, 7-2. Bottom of the eighth, sacrifice fly Jordy Mercer, 8-2 Pirates. Followed up by a 2-run double by Josh Bell, 10-2 Pirates. That was your final. Chad Cole is pretty solid. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.57 ERA. Kyle Freeland had his worst start of the earlier. 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 5.45 ERA. The Tigers defeated the Orioles 6-5 as they improve to 6-9. Baltimore drops to 5-13. Shane Green with the win. Pedro Aduro with the loss. Top of the second, RBI. Top of the second, home run Danny Valencia, 1-0 Orioles. Bottom of the third, home run Javier Candelario to tie it up at 1 apiece. Bottom of the sixth, home run Miguel Cabrera, 2-1 Tigers. Top of the eighth, RBI single Manny Machado to tie it up at 2 apiece. Also in the top of the eighth, sacrifice by Adam Jones, 3-2 O's. Followed up by an RBI single by Chris Davis, 4-2 O's. Bottom of the eighth, 3-run home run by John Hicks, 5-4 Tigers. Top of the ninth, home run by Luis Sardinas to tie it up at 5 apiece. And then in the bottom of the ninth, the walk-off home run by Dixon Machado to give the Tigers a 6-5 victory. Matthew Boyd, 6 in the third innings, 2 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 1.40 ERA. Kevin Gossman, 6 innings, 9 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 5.57 ERA. The Rays defeated the Rangers 4-2 as they improved to 5-13. Texas drops to 7-13. Jacob Faria with the win. Cole Hamels with the loss. Alex Colon with the save. Top of the third, home run Sin-Soo Choo, 1-0 Rangers. Bottom of the sixth, RBI double Daniel Robertson to tie it up at 1 apiece. RBI single CJ Cron, 2-1 Rays. Sacrifice via Danny Hickavarria, 3-1 Rays. Bottom of the seventh, RBI double Denard Span, 4-1 Rays. Top of the ninth, RBI single Drew Robinson to make it a 4-2 game, and that was your final. Jacob Faria was okay. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 5.82 ERA. Clamels was okay as well. 6 in the third innings, 7 hits, and 4 runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.76 ERA. The Brewers defeat the Reds 2-0 as they improve to 10-9. Cincinnati drops to 3-15. This morning, the Reds actually fired Byron Price. That's not surprising. They're off to a terrible start. They have the worst record in baseball. I predicted Price to be fired, but I wasn't sure if it was going to happen during the season or after the season, so that's one of my preseason predictions gone right. Zach Davies with the win. Tyler Mahle with the loss. Jacob Barnes with the save. The only 2 runs of this game was a 2-run home run in the bottom of the third inning by Eric Thames to give the Brewers a 2-0 lead for good. Zach Davies was really good. 6 in the third innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.84 ERA. Tyler Mahle, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 5.14 ERA. The A's defeated the White Sox 12-11 in 14 innings. Luis Trevino with the win. James Shield with the loss. Top of the first, RBI single, Nicky Delamico gives the White Sox a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the first, RBI ground out. Chris Davis tied up at 1 apiece for Oakland. Top of the second, RBI single, Adam Engel, 2-1 Sox. Followed up by a grand slam by Yoan Moncada to give the White Sox a 6-1 lead. That didn't last. Bottom of the second, home run Mark Hanna, 6-2 game. Sacrifice by Marcus Semien, 6-3 game. RBI ground out into a fielder's choice, Jed Lowry, 6-4 game. Top of the fourth, 2-run double, Jose Abreu, 8-4 White Sox. RBI single, Matt Davidson, 9-4 White Sox. Bottom of the fourth, RBI single, Chris Davis, 9-5 game. Bottom of the fourth, a 2-run double by Matt Olson to make it 9-7. followed up by an RBI single by Matt Chapman to make it 9-8. Top of the 6th, RBI single by Leury Garcia to put the White Sox up 10-8. Bottom of the 8th, sacrifice fly Bruce Maxwell to make it a 10-9 game. Go-ahead home run, Jed Lowry, 11-10 A's. Top of the 9th, Tim Anderson ties the game with an RBI single at 11 apiece. Bottom of the 14th, RBI single, walk-off, Matt Olson, 12-11's your final. The starter for Oakland, Andrew Triggs, not good at all. An inning and a third, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, and no strikeouts, leaves the game with a 5.82 ERA. Carson Fulmer for the White Sox, no good either. An inning, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and no strikeouts, leaves the game with a 7.59 ERA. It's funny that they brought James Shields in for relief, and that obviously benefited Oakland. The Blue Jays defeated the Royals 15-5 as they improved to 12-5. Casey drops to 3-13. J.A. Happ with the win. Ian Kennedy with the loss. Bottom of the 1st, RBI double. Justin Spoke 1-0 Toronto. Top of the 3rd, 2-run double. Mike Moustakas 2-1 Royals. Bottom of the 3rd, home run, 2-run shot. Teoscar Hernandez gives the Blue Jays a 3-2 lead. Home run, Yangervis Solarte 4-2 Blue Jays. Top of the 5th, 2-run home run. Whit Merrifield ties it up at 4 apiece. Bottom of the 5th, Randall Grichuk safe on the error by Paul Orlando. Scores in a run, 5-4 Blue Jays. RBI single, Luke Maile, 6-4 Blue Jays. Bottom of the 7th, 2-run triples, Teoscar Hernandez, 8-4 Blue Jays. Top of the 8th, home run, Jorge Soler makes it a 9-5 game. Bottom of the 8th, RBI double, Kevin Pillar, 10-5 Blue Jays. RBI single, Aledmys Diaz, 11-5 Blue Jays. And last but not least, a grand slam by Curtis Granderson to make it 15-5. J.A. Happ was okay. 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.5 ERA. Ian Kennedy had his worst start of the early year. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 2.35 ERA. The Twins defeated the Indians 2-1 in 16 innings in San Juan. This was a fun game to watch. 8-5 are the Twins now, and the Indians dropped to 9-7. Alan Buchnevich with the win. Josh Tomlin with the loss. No scoring until the top of the 14th. A home run by Edwin Encarnacion put the Indians up 1-0. Bottom of the 14th, Miguel Sano ties it up at 1 apiece. And in the bottom of the 16th, the game-winning RBI single by Ryan Lamari gave the Twins a 2-1 win. Jose Berrios was brilliant. 7 innings, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 1.63 ERA. Carlos Carrasco was brilliant too. 7 innings, 3 hits, a walk, and 7 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 2.6 ERA. The Mets defeated the Nationals 11-5 to avoid the sweep as they improved to 13-4. The Nationals dropped to 9-10. AJ Ramos with the win. Ryan Madsen with the loss. Top of the 1st, a 3-run home run by Ryan Zimmerman put the Nats up 3-0. Bottom of the 4th, RBI single. Adrian Gonzalez put the Mets on the board to make it a 3-1 game. Followed up by a fielder's choice by Jose Lobaton to make it a 3-2 game. Top of the 7th, sacrifice by Moises Sierra, 4-2. Bottom of the 8th, here come the Mets. They have their big inning, 2-run single to tie up the game by Todd Frazier at 4 apiece. Followed up by a 2-run double by Juan Lagares to make it 6-4. Bases loaded walk by Michael Conforto, 7-4. In the big blow of this inning, a grand slam by Yoenis Cespedes to make it 11-4. And then the top of the 9th, a garbage home run by Ryan Zimmerman to make it an 11-5 game. Steven Matz was meh. 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.42 ERA. Tanner Roark was pretty good. 7 innings, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.24 ERA. The Braves defeated the Phillies 7-3 to take 2 out of 3 in this series. They improved to 10-7. Philly drops to 10-7. Brandon McCarthy with the win. Vince Velasquez with the loss. Top of the 5th, RBI single. Vince Velasquez to give the Phillies a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the 5th, a 3-run home run. Ryan Flaherty to give the Braves a 3-1 lead. Top of the 7th, Carlos Santana grounds into a double play that scores in a run to make it a 3-2 game. Bottom of the 7th, home run Dansby Swanson to make it a 4-2 Braves lead. Bottom of the 8th, the Braves put the game away. RBI single, Kurt Suzuki, 5-2. Then Nick Markakis scored on a pass balk to make it a 6-2 game. RBI single, Ryan Flaherty, 7-2. And in the top of the ninth, an RBI double by Aaron Altherr got the Phillies within 4, but that was your game. Brandon McCarthy was solid, 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 2.91 ERA. Vince Velasquez, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.8 ERA. The Giants defeated the Diamondbacks 4-3 in 10 innings as they improved to 7-10. Arizona drops to 12-5. Hunter Strickland with the win. Boxberger with the loss. The save, Corey Guerin. Top of the 6th, 2-run home run, Evan Longoria to give the Giants a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the 8th, RBI triple, Jarrod Dyson to get the Diamondbacks on the board. Bottom of the 9th, game-tying RBI double to tie it up at 2 apiece by A.J. Pollock. Top of the 10th, a 2-run home run, Brandon Bell, 4-2 Giants lead. And in the bottom of the 10th, RBI double, David Peralta, 4-3 ball game. Chris Stratton was pretty good. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, and 8 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 2.22 ERA. Robbie Rice, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.98 ERA. The Red Sox continue to dominate, 9-0 winners over the Angels. They improved to 15-2. The Angels dropped to 13-5. Rick Porcello to win, Tyler Skaggs with the loss. Top of the 1st, RBI single, Mitch Moreland, 1-0 Red Sox. Top of the 3rd, RBI single, Mitch Moreland, 2-0 Sox. Followed up by a grand slam by Rafael Devers to put the Red Sox up 6-0. Top of the 7th, home run, JD Martinez, 7-0 Sox. Top of the 9th, a 2-run home run, Mitch Moreland, 9-0 Sox was your ball game. Rick Porcello looked like the Rick Porcello that won the Cy Young Award a few years ago when he was pretty good that year and led the league in wins, but didn't have the greatest ERA in the world. 6 innings, 6 hits, and 6 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 1.4 ERA. Tyler Skaggs, 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.98 ERA. The Astros defeated the Mariners 7-1 as they improve to 12-7. Seattle drops to 9-7. Garrett Cole the win, Mike Leake with the loss. Top of the 2nd, RBI double, Brian McCann, 1-0 Houston. Bottom of the 3rd, RBI single, Robinson Cano ties it up at 1 apiece. Top of the 7th, a 2-run single by Marvin Gonzalez to put the Astros up 3-1. And then added Evan Gattis safe on the error by Mitch Haniger that scored in Marvin Gonzalez to make it a 4-1 game. Top of the 7th as well, 2-run double, George Springer that made it a 6-1 game. Then 7-1 on an RBI single by Carlos Correa. Garrett Cole outstanding again. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with a .96 ERA as he has teams regretting that they didn't trade for him, such as the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And you could argue even the Chicago Cubs if Yu Darvish doesn't work out for them. And Mike Leake, 6 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, a walk, and 7 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.5 ERA. Last but not least, the Dodgers destroyed the Padres 13-4 as they improved to 8-9. San Diego drops to 7-13. Kenta Maeda with the win. Luis Perdomo with the loss. Top of the 1st, RBI single, Cody Bellinger, 1-0 Dodgers. Top of the 1st as well, Matt Kemp reaches on an infield single as 2 runs score, thanks to the throwing error by Christian Villanueva to make it a 3-0 Dodger lead. Top of the 2nd, RBI single, Corey Seager, 4-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the 2nd, bases loaded walk by Austin Hedges, 4-1 as the Padres get on the board. Followed up by a sacrifice fly by Luis Perdomo to make it a 4-2 game. Top of the 3rd, RBI single, Jock Peterson, 5-2 Dodgers. Followed up by a 2-run double by Chase Utley, 7-2 Dodgers. Followed up by a 2-run home run by Max Muncy, who was recently called up to make it a 9-2 lead for the Dodgers. Bottom of the 3rd is when the Padres got their last runs on a 2-run double by Carlos Asuge to make it a 9-4 game. Top of the 8th, an RBI double by Yasmani Grandal to make it a 10-4 game. Top of the 9th, RBI single, Yasiel Puig, 11-4 Dodgers. And last but not least, a 2-run double by Corey Seager to cap it off 13-4 was your game. Kenta Maeda was pretty solid. 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.77 ERA. Luis Perdomo, no good. 3 innings, 10 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with an 8.36 ERA. Today's slate of games, you have the Orioles against the Tigers. That's already 2-1 Orioles in the top of the second. Jordan Zimmerman against Alex Cobb. Cardinals Cubs, to make up yesterday's rained-out game, Luke Weaver against John Lester. Astros Mariners, the Astros going for 3 out of 4 in this series. Charlie Morton against Marco Gonzalez. You have the Blue Jays at the Yankees with Aaron Sanchez against CC Sabathia. Sabathia is coming off the disabled list. Let's see if he gives the Yankees a little bit of a boost in the rotation that they needed. Pirates Phillies, Jameson Taillon against Jake Arrieta. Mets Braves, Matt Harvey against, we don't know. The Braves never released a starter. We'll see. Marlins Brewers, you have Dylan Peters against Chase Anderson. Giants Diamondbacks, you have Ty Block against Zach Greinke. Red Sox Angels is Eduardo Rodriguez against Nick Trapano. Red Sox going for the sweep tonight against the Angels, who are in first place in the American League West as we speak. Next, I'm going to do the MLB redrafts from 2015. This is going to be very interesting. And interesting debates with a bunch of great young players that are in the majors right now. We're in this draft. Let's get it going. Number 1, Arizona Diamondbacks, Andrew Benintendi, outfielder, Arkansas. The Diamondbacks take Benintendi here in the redraft to be their left fielder of the future. And for now, even. Yasmani Tomas hasn't worked out in left field, and a duo of Benintendi and A.J. Pollock would be awfully enticing. And maybe they use David Peralta as a trade chip instead of Endir Inciarte or the guy they took in the spot originally, Dansby Swanson. The actual pick, Dansby Swanson, shortstop, Vanderbilt. 2, Houston Astros. Alex Bregman, third baseman, LSU. No do-over here as the Astros take their guy in Bregman, who converted from shortstop to third. Bregman was a big part of the Astros World Series run a season ago, and he'll be a part of the Astros for a long time. The actual pick, Bregman. 3, Colorado Rockies. Ian Happ, outfielder, Cincinnati. The Rockies take Happ here, who has been really good for the Cubs since he got called up last season. He's probably going to stick in Chicago long term, and he would have been a nice fit in the Rockies outfield with Charlie Blackmon. The actual pick, Brendan Rodgers, shortstop, second baseman, Lake Mary High School in Florida. 4, Texas Rangers. Dansby Swanson, shortstop, Vanderbilt. Swanson drops to the Rangers in the redraft. Swanson had a disappointing season a year ago and is poised to have a good year this season. He was traded from the Diamondbacks to the Braves in the disastrous Shelby Miller trade, and maybe he's trade bait with the Rangers too, with Elvis Andrus playing short for them right now. The actual pick, Dylan Tate, pitcher, UC Santa Barbara. 5, Houston Astros. Walker Buehler, pitcher, Vanderbilt. With their second top 5 pick, the Astros take Buehler to possibly become their future ace. He's certainly the future ace of the Dodgers, or at least a co-ace with Clayton Kershaw. The actual pick, Kyle Tucker, outfielder, HB Plant High School in Florida. 6, Minnesota Twins. Scott Kingery, infielder, Arizona. Kingery has proven to be a steal at where the Phillies took him in the second round. Kingery is certainly a part of the Phillies' future long-term and would have been a nice fit on the Twins due to his versatility. The actual pick, Tyler J., pitcher, Illinois. 7, Boston Red Sox. Brandon Rogers, infielder, Lake Mary High School, Florida. With Benintendi off the board, the Sox take an infielder in Rogers. He hasn't reached the bigs yet, but he's still very young and raw and will be a part of the Rocks' long-term future, whether it's at short or at second. The actual pick, Andrew Benintendi, outfielder, Arkansas. 8, Chicago White Sox. Kyle Tucker, outfielder, HB Plant High School in Florida. The White Sox take Tucker here, who drops a few spots in the redraft. Tucker's in AAA right now, and it won't be surprising to see him start in the Astros outfield come the end of the season. The actual pick, Carson Fulmer, pitcher, Vanderbilt. 9, Chicago Cubs. Tristan McKenzie, pitcher, Royal Palm Beach High School in Florida. McKenzie proven to be a steal at where the Indians selected him in the second round. He's going to be a future piece of that great Indians rotation and would have been a nice fit in the Cubs rotation long term. The actual pick, Ian Happ, outfielder, Cincinnati. 10, Philadelphia Phillies. Mike Soroka, pitcher, Bishop Carroll High School in Alberta. Soroka has proven to be a steal where the Braves selected him in the compensatory round. Soroka is in AAA right now and will be on the Braves at some point this season, whether it's starting or as a reliever. The actual pick, Cornelius Randolph, shortstop, outfielder, Griffin High School in Georgia. 11, Cincinnati Reds, Willie Calhoun, second baseman, outfielder, Yavapai. Calhoun proven to be a steal at where the Dodgers selected him in the 4th round. The Dodgers shipped Calhoun to Texas for Yu Darvish last year, and Calhoun is going to be a player for the Rangers going forward, whether it's in the infield, outfield, or DH. The actual pick, Tyler Stevenson, catcher, Kennesaw Mountain High School in Georgia. 12, Miami Marlins, Colby Allard, pitcher, San Clemente High School in California. The Marlins take Allard here to bank on his potential. He is in AAA right now and can be seen on the Braves at some point this season. The actual pick, Josh Naylor, first baseman, St. Joan of Arc Catholic Secondary School in Ontario. 13, Tampa Bay Rays, Chance Adams, pitcher, Chaparral High School in Arizona. The Yanks got a steal at where they selected Adams in the 5th round. He's in AAA right now, but he's off to a slow start, though. He'll likely see time on the Yanks this season and would have been a nice piece on the Rays as well. The actual pick, Garrett Whitley, outfielder, Niskayuna High School in New York. 14, Atlanta Braves, Bayu Burrows, pitcher, Weatherford High School in Texas. With Allard off the board, the Braves get Burrows, who could be a frontline starter someday. Burrows is in Double-A right now, and there's a chance he's pitching with the Tigers come September. The actual pick, Colby Allard, pitcher, San Clemente High School in California. 15, Milwaukee Brewers, Jahmai Jones, second baseman, Wesleyan School in Georgia. The Angels got a steal with Jones at where they selected him in the 2nd round. Jones is currently in advanced day and will probably be in the Angels' long-term plans. The actual pick, Trent Clark, outfielder, Richland High School in Texas. 16, New York Yankees, Austin Riley, third baseman, DeSoto County School District High School in Mississippi. The Braves got a steal with Riley here at where they selected him in the competitive balance round. Riley is the third baseman of the future for the Braves, and he probably would have been trade bait for the Yanks considering how much depth they have in their minor league system. The actual pick, James Caprillion, pitcher, UCLA. 17, Cleveland Indians, Ryan Mountcastle, third baseman, Haggerty High School in Florida. Mountcastle proven to be a steal where the O's selected him in the compensatory round. Mountcastle is a shortstop by trade, but is the Orioles' third baseman of the future. The actual pick, Brady Aiken, pitcher, IMG Academy in Florida. 18, San Francisco Giants, Carson Fuller, pitcher, Vanderbilt. The Giants take a chance with Fuller here as he drops as they hope for a steal here. Fuller hasn't done much at the show thus far, but he is still young and has room to grow as a pitcher. The actual pick, Phil Bickford, pitcher, College of Southern Nevada. 19, Pittsburgh Pirates, Dylan Tate, pitcher, UC Santa Barbara. The Pirates take a chance with Tate, who drops in the redraft, and hope for a steal. Tate had some injury issues in the past, and the Rangers shipped him to the Yankees for Carlos Beltran 2 seasons ago. His ceiling could be a mid-rotation starter. The actual pick, Kevin Newman, shortstop, Arizona. 20, Oakland Athletics, James Caprillion, pitcher, UCLA. Ironically, the A's take one of their guys that they got in return for Sonny Gray and Caprillion. He is coming off of Tommy John surgery and has a ceiling of a frontline starter. The actual pick, Richie Martin, shortstop, Florida. 21, Kansas City Royals, Coda Glover, pitcher, Oklahoma State. The Nats got a massive steal where they got Glover in the 8th round. Glover has shown some flashes with the Nats and could be a really good reliever someday, despite the fact he's injured right now. Actual pick, Ash Russell, pitcher, Cathedral High School in Indiana. 22, Detroit Tigers, Harrison Bader, outfielder, Florida. Bader has proven to be a steal at where the Cards selected him in the 3rd round. Bader has shown flashes at times in the bigs, and the question is whether he's a long-term piece for the Cardinals or is he trade bait. The actual pick, Bayu Burrows, pitcher, Weatherford High School in Texas. 23, St. Louis Cardinals, Andrew Suarez, pitcher, Miami. The Giants found a possible 2nd-round steal in Suarez. He made his big league debut last week, although he did not pitch very well, but he has upside, and the Giants view him as a long-term piece for them. The actual pick, Nick Plummer, outfielder, Brother Rice High School in Michigan. 24, Los Angeles Dodgers, Daz Cameron, outfielder, Eagles Landing Christian Academy in Georgia. The Astros snagged the steal in the competitive balance round with Cameron. He was packaged to Detroit in the deal for Justin Verlander, and he could be a part of the Tigers' long-term future. The actual pick, Walker Buehler, pitcher, Vanderbilt. 25, Baltimore Orioles. Brady Aiken, pitcher, IMG Academy in Florida. The O's take a chance here with Aiken, who's dropped in the redraft, as they hope for a steal. Aiken has not lived up to expectation, and part of that is due to injuries, but he has room to grow as a pitcher with the upside he has. The actual pick, DJ Stewart, outfielder, Florida. 26, Los Angeles Angels. Josh Naylor, first baseman, St. Joan of Arc Catholic Secondary School in Ontario. Naylor was thought by many to be a reach at where the Marlins picked him, and they ended up shipping him to the Padres, but this kid can flat out rake. Naylor might not be in the Padres' future plans as Eric Hosmer clogs up first base, so maybe he's trade bait? It's remained to be seen. The actual pick, Taylor Ward, catcher, Fresno State. Okay, now I'm going to do my NFL mock draft, my 9th edition of it. 1. Cleveland Browns, Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming. After pegging Sam Darnold in the top spot in all of the mock drafts I did, up to the last one, I finally decided to go with Allen here, as many are speculating that the Browns may take Allen over Darnold. Allen has the most upside among the quarterbacks due to his athleticism, arm strength, and size, and draws comparisons to Carson Wentz. 2. New York Giants, Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC. I was told recently that if Darnold is at the board at 2, the Giants will take him to be their future quarterback. If not, the pick will either be traded or they'll take Saquon Barkley. Darnold has the highest floor of all the quarterbacks in this draft, and he has the athleticism, leadership, and good throwing arm and clutch play as he's shown at the collegiate level. 3. New York Jets from the Indianapolis Colts. Baker Mayfield, quarterback, Oklahoma. There's a lot of speculation that the Jets will take Mayfield here unless Darnold is still on the board. Mayfield has a ton of potential with his gunslinger mentality, although due to his height and off-court antics, is compared to Johnny Manziel. 4. Cleveland Browns from the Houston Texans. Bradley Chubb, defensive end, North Carolina State. There's a lot of speculation now that the Browns will take Chubb here to pair with Myles Garrett. Chubb is a 3-down back that would help them pressure opposing quarterbacks, and having him and Garrett together would be a nice start. 5. Denver Broncos. Josh Rosen, quarterback, UCLA. Rosen's stock is dropping due to his concussion issues and his former coach Jim Mora throwing him under the bus. Rosen is thought out by some to be the safest bet in this draft in terms of quarterbacks due to his accuracy and redefined throwing mechanics. 6. Indianapolis Colts from the New York Jets. Roquan Smith, linebacker, Georgia. This would be somewhat of a reach pick, but the Colts need playmakers on defense. Smith brings speed and athleticism to the field, and that's a good thing for a defense that desperately needs talent. 7. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Saquon Barkley, running back, Penn State. What a steal this would be for a team that needs a running back upgrade. Barkley is the draft's best player, perhaps, as he could do pretty much everything that a running back can do. He could be Jameis Winston's security blanket for years to come. 8. Chicago Bears. Quentin Nelson, guard, Notre Dame. The Bears got a steal here with Nelson, who is the best offensive lineman in this draft. Nelson seems like a sure thing and worthy of a top 10 pick and could go as high as 4th overall. 9. San Francisco 49ers. Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker, Virginia Tech. With Reuben Foster's future with the team suddenly in doubt after his arrest, the Niners almost have to take a linebacker here if either Smith or Edmonds is available. Edmonds will only be 20 years old once the season gets going, and his athleticism and playmaking will give the Niners defense another look. 10. Oakland Raiders. Minkah Fitzpatrick, safety, Alabama. This would be a steal here for the Raiders, who have a bigger need for a linebacker, so instead they take Fitzpatrick to bolster their secondary. Fitzpatrick's versatility makes him a special, and perhaps he's the best defensive player in this draft. 11. Miami Dolphins. Vita Vea, defensive tackle, Washington. Vea is a massive presence in the middle of a defensive line and will go a long way towards fixing that deficiency, while also providing enough quickness to penetrate into the backfield on some third downs. He also has quick feet and good movement skill for a big defensive lineman. 12. Buffalo Bills from the Cincinnati Bengals. Lamar Jackson, quarterback, Louisville. With the Cardinals lurking a few spots back, the Bills snagged Jackson to be their quarterback of the future. He's a good decision maker and passer, but does he start opening day, or is he redshirting behind A.J. McCarron? 13. Washington Redskins. Derwin James, strong safety, Florida State. Perhaps the best defensive playmaker in this draft. James is the new NFL prototype as a safety capable of producing against the run in both man and zone coverage. Florida State also used him as a pure edge rusher, where he regularly pressured the quarterback. 14. Green Bay Packers, Denzel Ward, cornerback, Ohio State. Ward dropping this far would be a massive steal for the Packers, and it would be a no-brainer for them to pick him here. Ward isn't the biggest corner in the draft, but he can cover skills that are hard to come by in the league. 15. Arizona Cardinals, Josh Jackson, cornerback, Iowa. Jackson could be picked in the top 15 or 20, or he can completely fall out of the first round. With Lamar Jackson off the board, the Cardinals take Josh Jackson here to pair in the secondary with Patrick Peterson. He has size and speed and led the FBS in interceptions last year. 16. Baltimore Ravens, Calvin Ridley, wide receiver, Alabama. The Ravens have lacked a big threat receiver for years now, and they got one here with Ridley, although they did sign Josh Brown and Michael Crabtree. Ridley brings a downfield speedy option on the outside that would bring a different look to the Ravens' offense. 17. Los Angeles Chargers, Deron Payne, defensive tackle, Alabama. The Chargers pose what is arguably the best edge rushing duo in the league with Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram. Adding someone like Payne would only make that defensive line better. 18. Seattle Seahawks, Harold Landry, defensive end, outside linebacker, Boston College. Landry is all over the map in terms of where people have him mocked in these mock drafts. Landry didn't have a great final season in college, but has the tools to be a solid pro. 19. Dallas Cowboys, Courtland Sutton, wide receiver, SMU. With the Cowboys releasing Des Bryant, they replaced him with Sutton, who could be a possible steal. Sutton put together back-to-back seasons of 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, and he scored 32 times in all 3 seasons with the Mustangs. 20. Detroit Lions, Marcus Davenport, defensive end, UTSA. The Lions need pass rushing help to go along with Ziggy Ansah. He is athletic, moves very well, and has physicality, which Matt Patricia would like. 21. Cincinnati Bengals from the Buffalo Bills. James Daniels, center, Iowa. Daniels is trending up many people's mock boards, and a ton of people have Daniels linked to Cincinnati. He's a good athlete and good technician for a center. 22. Buffalo Bills from the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle, Notre Dame. After the trading of Cody Glenn, the Bills have a need on the offensive line. McGlinchey isn't that strong, but he's athletic and brings stability. 23. New England Patriots from the Los Angeles Rams, Colton Miller, offensive tackle, UCLA. Miller put together a great final season at the collegiate level, and he would fit right away, replacing Nate Solder on the Pats O-line. Miller is big and strong and would help protect Tom Brady during his twilight years. 24. Carolina Panthers, Will Hernandez, guard, UTEP. No-brainer pick here as the Panthers find their replacement for Andrew Norwell. Hernandez is big and powerful, and he provides mobility. 25. Tennessee Titans, Leighton Vander Esch, linebacker, Boise State. Vander Esch is rising up many people's mock drafts of late. He's a stellar athlete that could patrol sideline to sideline and would be a nice fit in Mike Vrabel's defense. 26. Atlanta Falcons, Taven Bryan, defensive end, Florida. The Falcons don't have any major needs, but bolstering the defensive line is necessary since Dontari Poe departed in free agency. Bryan has drawn comparisons to J.J. Watt and will bring depth to the Falcons' defensive line. 27. New Orleans Saints, Dallas Goedert, tight end, South Dakota State. Goedert's draft stock is trending up, although there are some concerns due to injury. Goedert will be a nice weapon for Drew Brees. 28. Pittsburgh Steelers, Rashaan Evans, linebacker, Alabama. Evans brings an athletic presence who can fill multiple roles. He was more of an edge rusher defender earlier in his career, and he pressured the quarterback on 67 of his 284 career rushes. However, he has showed well in more traditional role over the last 2 years. 29. Jacksonville Jaguars, DJ Moore, wide receiver, Maryland. Moore is a fast riser on many people's draft boards, and the Jags snag him here to help replace Allen Robinson. There are people that think Moore can end up being the best receiver in this draft class. 30. Minnesota Vikings, Connor Williams, offensive tackle, guard, Texas. The Vikes have options here, so they take Williams to improve their offensive line. Williams provides versatility and would start at one of the tackle spots on this Vikings team. 31. New England Patriots, Isaiah Wynn, guard, Georgia. The Pats continue to bolster their offensive line by selecting Wynn, who could be a possible steal. He can play tackle if needed, but will succeed as a guard instantly and plays with outstanding leverage and has the athleticism to mirror pass rushers 32, Philadelphia Eagles. Jair Alexander, cornerback, Louisville. Alexander is a fast riser on many people's mock boards, and the Eagles can use another corner after losing Patrick Robinson in free agency. He is great in man-to-man coverage and could be drafted higher than this. The schedule comes out tonight. The release show is at 8 o'clock. ESPN's doing one, as well as NFL Network. And it's a show where all the insiders and analysts come together and they make some predictions and they pick out all their favorite games and whatnot. It's a fun thing. So I'm going to do predictions of my own, and I'll come back to this, I guess, tomorrow or whenever, and realize when I'm right and when I'm wrong. All right. The NFL opener, we know it. It's Vikings-Eagles. That's going to be the Eagles' home opener, the season opener, where the Eagles get their rings. They announced that a little while ago. I'm going to start with Sunday night football games. This is no particular order, but I'll give you a bonus prediction that week 1, Sunday night football, will be 49ers at the Seahawks. It's going to be Richard Sherman's return to Seattle. That's just my guess. And then the rest of these is in no order. Packers-Patriots, that would be the battle of 2 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks in Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Patriots-Jaguars, the rematch of the AFC title game, except Jacksonville would host. Steelers-Ravens, a division rival. Chiefs-Steelers, a rematch of a playoff game from 2 years ago, and these teams tend to meet in primetime. Steelers versus Broncos. Jaguars versus Titans, that's for a division, possibly. Seahawks versus Rams. Cowboys versus Texans, that's a battle of Texas right there. Raiders-Chiefs, division rival. Chargers-Rams, the battle of Los Angeles. Cowboys-Giants, that's a tradition every year, in which every other year, Dallas or New York will host a Sunday night football game against the other. Last year, Dallas hosted New York. The year before, New York hosted Dallas. So this year, New York will host Dallas on Sunday Night Football. It's a matter of what week. It'll probably be later in the season, as the Giants usually host Dallas later in the year, and the Giants usually play at Dallas week 1 or earlier in the season. Saints against the Cowboys, 2 possible NFC contenders there. Giants at the Eagles, so defending champs against Eli Manning, Odell Beckham Jr., and the Giants. Panthers at the Eagles, so Cam Newton against Carson Wentz or Nick Foles. Packers at the Vikings, possibly for the NFC North. And Chiefs at the Patriots, a rematch of the opening game from a year ago in which the Chiefs beat the Patriots in Foxborough. One of those division games I just listed in the Sunday Night Football, I bet will be the Week 17 division, or either win the division or go home, or win the division and the loser goes to the wild card game. The candidates for that, I think, are Packers-Vikings, Raiders-Chiefs, and maybe Steelers-Ravens if the Steelers take a step back or the Ravens are better than expected. Monday Night Football. I'll predict the Week 1 doubleheader. I think it's going to be Saints at the Panthers, I think, will be the Week 1 Monday Night Football opener. And the nightcap of the doubleheader will be John Gruden's first home game as the Raiders head coach as they host their in-state rival, Los Angeles Rams. The rest of the Monday Night Football schedule in no order. My predictions: Chiefs at the Rams, 2 contenders. I don't know if the Chiefs are really a contender, but people are making them out to be a contender, even though Patrick Mahomes is their quarterback. They still have a lot of talent. Patriots at the Jets, a division game there. Lions at the Bills. Bengals at the Browns, which seems like a Monday nighter every couple years. Steelers at the Buccaneers has Monday Night Football written all over it. Panthers at the Ravens. Eagles at the Titans. Colts at the Redskins. Texans at the Broncos. Texans-Broncos was Monday Night Football, I believe, 2 years ago, and Brock Osweiler was Houston's quarterback. Jaguars at the Giants. That would be the return of Tom Coughlin Chargers at the Seahawks. Redskins at the Cowboys. That's usually a Monday nighter every year. Bears at the Packers. Bears-Packers seems like a primetime game every year. Sometimes it's on ESPN. Sometimes it's on NFL Network. And sometimes it's on Sunday Night Football. This year I think it's Monday Night Football. 49ers at the Vikings. A battle of two contenders in the NFC. And Cardinals at the Falcons. Thursday Night Football. No order. And it's all division games too. Bills-Patriots, Jets-Dolphins, Bengals-Steelers, Browns-Ravens, Titans-Texans, Colts-Jaguars, Broncos-Raiders, Chiefs-Chargers, Giants-Redskins, Packers-Lions, Vikings-Bears, Falcons-Panthers, Buccaneers-Saints, Seahawks-Cardinals, Rams-49ers. Rams-49ers is obviously the best one on the list of 15 that I just listed. There's one division rivalry I did not mention, but I'll get to where I think that particular game is in a second. The random specials that appear on Saturday nights in weeks 15 and 16 respectively. I don't know which ones will be week 15 and which ones will be week 16, but the last couple years they would do 2 Saturday games on the 15th, 4:30 and 8:30, and 2 on week 16. That would be a 4 and 8 or 4:30, 8:30, whatever. I think those matchups will be Bengals at the Chiefs, Ravens at the Chargers, Cowboys at the Seahawks, and Falcons at the Packers. Thanksgiving. Patriots at the Lions, Eagles at the Cowboys, Saints at the Vikings. Eagles-Cowboys was the one division rival I didn't mention for Thursday Night Football because I believe that will be a Thanksgiving game. And the Christmas Eve special, there's going to be 2 Christmas Eve games this year, I believe. Kind of like what they did on Christmas Day last year, because this year Christmas Eve falls on a Monday. Last year, Christmas Day fell on a Monday. Christmas Eve falls on a Monday this year. And we had a game on NBC and then the night game on ESPN on Monday Night Football. That's what I believe will be the case this year. So the 4 o'clock Christmas Eve special on NBC, I believe, will be the Steelers at the Raiders. So 2 contenders in the AFC there. My favorite game on next year's schedule is Saints at the Vikings. I'm really intrigued for that rematch game of the Stephon Diggs catch. That was the game of the year last year, game of the playoffs. And I believe it'll be a Thanksgiving night game called by Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth on NBC. So that is probably the most fascinating game. I'm fascinated to see where that game lands on the schedule. There will be leaks coming out before the schedule comes out. I'm sure there are already leaks out that I don't know about that I'm probably going to check in a couple minutes and be like, oh, I was wrong, or oh, wow, I got that right. So we'll see about that. Tomorrow I'll be back with the schedule recap, the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs recaps, Major League Baseball recaps, and a lot more. I'll be back tomorrow. As I said, I hope you guys have a great day, everybody.